The knock wasn't loud at first. It was frantic. Fists on wood, nails, breath trapped behind a door I no longer recognized as ours. I checked the time on my phone. 8:59 p.m. I didn't move. My son's room was dark. I'd tucked him in an hour ago. He asked me if birthdays still mattered when you got older. I told him they mattered more because by then people chose to forget. The knocking became shouting. My name over and over. I stood in the kitchen, the cake still untouched on the counter, one candle melted into wax like a surrendered spine, chocolate frosting cheap, my favorite bought by me. I listened to her unravel. There's a particular sound a lie makes when it realizes it's dying. It's not loud, it's hollow. I took a slow breath and leaned my forehead against the cabinet. An hour earlier, I'd watched her smile into a camera that wasn't meant for me, balloons in gold, a watch I'd once shown her in a shop window, a caption about leadership and gratitude. For her boss. I hadn't reacted then. I'd reacted now. The door shook again. I know you're in there. I smiled without warmth. Of course she did. The text came at noon. Skipping tonight, budget cuts, office is bleeding money. I typed no problem and meant it. I'd learned how to mean it years ago. The skill comes with being overlooked repeatedly. It becomes a reflex. I worked from home that day, watched the clock, cooked pasta, wrapped a gift for myself, a book I'd wanted. It felt appropriate. At 6:12 p.m. her post went live. I didn't stumble onto it. The algorithm placed it gently in my lap like an accusation wrapped in satin. There she was, my wife laughing too freely, leaning too close. Her hand rested on his shoulder with familiarity she never used on me anymore. The office that was tight glowed behind them in rented luxury. My son leaned into my side while I scrolled. Dad, he whispered, careful not to disturb the silence he'd learned to respect. They forgot you again. Again. Children don't ask loaded questions, they make observations and wait for adults to explain why the world is broken. I kissed the top of his head and said nothing. Shock didn't come, denial didn't either. Just recognition. The quiet click of something lining up in my mind. Late nights, new passwords, the way she flinched when I touched her phone, not her body. Infidelity isn't discovered, it introduces itself when it's tired of hiding. I washed the dishes slowly. Then I opened my laptop. I didn't snoop. I audited. Phone records first, shared plan, patterns don't lie people do, numbers repeated, calls outside office hours, texts that bloomed after arguments and withered after affection. I cross-referenced dates with her calendar, team dinners, budget reviews, emergency meetings. Emergency intimacy more like. I stayed pleasant, asked about her day, nodded, made tea. The mask is easiest when you're already invisible. At night, I listened to her breathe beside me and mapped the distance between us like a crime scene. The bed was wider than it used to be. I checked corporate policy next. Their HR handbook was downloadable, clear clauses, power imbalance, gifts, personal relationships undisclosed. I smiled again. Evidence prefers patience. I didn't confront her when the receipt hit my email, auto-forwarded from a shared rewards account she'd forgotten to remove. Jewelry store, the watch, his initials engraved on the back. I didn't confront her when I saw the hotel charges under conference lodging. I confronted my fear instead. What it would mean to end this. What it would cost my son. What it would cost me to stay. I backed everything up, screenshots, PDFs, timestamps, a clean, chronological story, the kind executives understand. Then I drafted an email. Not angry. Not accusatory. Factual. And scheduled it. 9:00 p.m. She came home at 8:42 p.m. Smelled like champagne and someone else's cologne. She kissed my cheek like a formality already halfway gone. I handed her my phone. Before you shower, I said, read this. Her eyes moved fast, too fast. She understood immediately. The way her pupils dilated told me everything. What is this, she asked. Your timeline, I said, your policies, your receipts. Her hands shook. You went through my things. No, I said, you brought them home. She laughed once, sharp, defensive, then she cried loud, messy, theatrics I used to believe. I was going to tell you. I nodded. After my birthday, I asked. Silence. The email sent itself at 9:00 p.m. HR legal, her boss. Everyone CC'd. Her phone lit up like a dying star. She chased me down the hallway. Stop this, she said, please. I locked the bedroom door behind me. That was when the knocking started. The screaming followed. I sat on the bed and listened to the collapse of the life she'd built on my absence. Messages stacked, calls dropped, the watch no longer a gift, now an exhibit. I texted my lawyer. Then my sister. Then I turned my phone face down. Power doesn't roar, it waits. Her voice cracked into something animal, apologies became accusations, promises mutated into threats. I didn't answer. I packed a bag for my son, quietly, efficiently. I left the cake on the counter. Let it witness the end. By morning the house felt neutral. Empty of lies. I made coffee, watched the sun cut through the kitchen window. The door bore scratches, now small, desperate marks. I didn't feel victorious. I felt precise. My son woke up and asked if we were okay. I told him the truth, scaled to his size, that forgetting someone repeatedly is a choice, and choices have consequences. We left before she woke. I didn't look back. Some birthdays are remembered for candles. Mine will be remembered for clarity. And clarity, I've learned, is colder than revenge and far more permanent.